Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at the iPhone SE. Now, in a nutshell, I cannot recommend getting the iPhone SE in late 2019, and here are my reasons why. Firstly, in terms of the overall design, in late 2019, the iPhone SE looks extremely outdated, looks really old in terms of design. But even though I still love the overall design of the iPhone SE, I still think it's Apple's best design. However, looking at the competition, you've got budget devices that are offering you glass backs, you have fantastic color options, and real nice patterns that look so much more appealing to the eye and look so much more different. However, the iPhone SE is just offering you the traditional old iPhone look which you got on the 5 and even the 5S. So overall, that looks really outdated. Now, another big issue is this display. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a very nice display. However, it is 4 inches. Now, the display does get nice and bright. The viewing angles of the display are really nice and good. Colors are vibrant. The only issue is that 4-inch size in late 2019 is a bit too small. The reason being that now we've got games like PUBG and Fortnite, you've got Asphalt 9. All of those games are really good games which are very highly demanding on the overall graphics. You do have a lot of on-screen controls, and playing those high quality games on this little tiny 4-inch display is quite hard. Firstly, as you will be interacting with those on-screen controls, and most of the time you will end up covering most of those controls, and it's just a pretty cumbersome experience playing those games on this little 4-inch display, especially if you're using both hands. It's really not ideal at all. Also, when it comes to media experience and watching videos on YouTube, again, the iPhone SE will let you down there, again, just because the display is really small, first of all, and also of the fact that the iPhone SE just has a downward firing speaker, which again really doesn't add to the overall experience, where you've got iPhones today that offer you dual stereo speakers. You've got Android devices that offer you really good sound quality. The iPhone SE, overall, the display is quite a big letdown to me for the SE in late 2019. But one good thing out of all of this is software. I'm really happy that the SE got support for iOS 13. I am currently running iOS 13 beta 2. iOS 13.2 beta 2, and I'm currently updating it to beta 3. And I have to say that the SE has got all the bells and whistles iOS 13 does offer. You have all of the features even the latest iPhones do get. And Apple has done a pretty decent optimization for the iPhone SE on iOS 13. Now, even on 13.2 beta, it's running really nice and smoothly, very quick, no issues at all. However, if you're going to really use the phone as a heavy user, just keep in mind it's just got 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it will start choking up after some time, especially if you're doing a lot of high intense gaming, if you're recording 4K video, and if you're watching a lot of YouTube videos. The phone will start heating up gradually, and the battery life is just going to start nosediving. And overall, the multitasking experience out because of the 2 gigabytes is quite poor from the iPhone SE. Other than that, I have to say iOS 13.2 is performing really well on the iPhone SE. But again, there is an issue in terms of software. iOS 13 completes the 5-year software update cycle that Apple gives all its iPhones. So in almost all probability, iOS 13 might just be the last update the iPhone SE will get. So we'll have to keep that in mind, and I highly doubt that this will see iOS 14 next year. Now, other than that, coming to the battery life again is another issue, another reason why I could not recommend getting the SE. Now, the SE's just got about a 1600 or so milliamp hour battery, which in 2019 is pretty bad. It's just not going to last you through the day, and if you pick up the SE used, most of the time you will get batteries that are worn out. Mine is at 84%, and after 2 years, Apple says it's normal to get the battery to about 80% wear, so that's normal. But even though the phone says it does support normal peak performance, I have noticed that the phone does shut off about 30 to 20%. So yep, I will have to swap out the battery during some point of time in the future. But even if you're a general user, the SE is just not going to make it through the day. You will at least have to top it up once throughout the day. However, if you're a very heavy user, at least twice to thrice throughout the day, again depending on what you're doing. um, Moving ahead to the camera again is a letdown. The only good thing that the camera does offer is 4K video recording. Now again, you are stuck with just one lens on the camera, whereas you have other devices that are offering you dual lenses, even triple lenses, with much more feature packed camera applications. However, the iPhone SE is just pretty much bare bones in terms of the camera application. As you can see, it does kind of lag as you're switching through modes. There we go. So yeah, the overall experience from the camera again is pretty decent. The camera does take pretty decent photos and nice video. However, do not expect it to be really mind-blowing, and you're not going to get a lot of good photos, especially when it comes to low light photos. Other than that, I really don't have a lot of complaints with the iPhone SE. You still do get a headphone jack though. You've got Touch ID first generation, but it's just really outdated right now for late 2019. And you can pick up the SE for really cheap. You can get these for about $100 to $150. So these are extremely cheap iPhones, and the only reason the only scenario where I could see or I recommend the SE to someone is that if you are giving your child their first iPhone, the iPhone SE is pretty decent for that situation. Also, if you're someone who's on a really tight budget who just wants to try the iPhone or get into the Apple ecosystem, again, the iPhone SE is a nice one, especially since you're still getting the latest iOS 13. Other than that, I really cannot recommend the SE. I would suggest, if you guys want a budget iPhone, look at the iPhone 7 or the 7 Plus, as those iPhones have also dropped in price. They offer you the much more powerful Apple A10 Fusion. You get the haptic press home button. You've got IP67 water and dust resistance. You've got a lot more features than the iPhone SE will offer you at any time. So those are much better options. And furthermore, I could easily see the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus getting iOS 14 for the next year. Other than that, I really don't have a lot to say. I really like the iPhone SE. It's a very nice and compact device. However, right now, given the competition from the Android world, you've even got the Pixel 3 and the 3a XL at really nice price points. You've got other budget devices offered by other brands also at very nice price points. The iPhone SE is just a really hard sell. Furthermore, for you SE fans out there, I know you are looking out for the iPhone SE2. We have seen rumors that the SE2 is expected. Now, I don't know, is it coming this October, or it could might as well just drop in March of 2020. So based on all the rumors, we see that the SE2 would be having the iPhone 8's all glass design, no new notch feature or anything. You'll still be the traditional iPhone design with the big chins on the top. You will have Touch ID, but you will have the iPhone 8's housing. So pretty much, again, you might as well, Apple could throw in the Apple A13 chip or even the A12. We'll have to see about that. But the iPhone SE2 is rumored to come. So if you guys are diehard SE fans, hold up for the iPhone SE2. So that's it, guys. If you did like the video, hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.